I'm going to start my presentation with the introduction. There will be a 4-part of the research in this module. First is the research proposal, then continue with the critical review, primary data, and also the research reflection reports. So in the final session, the researcher will summarize the strengths and the weaknesses of her research finding, as well as the difficulties or the challenges that occurred during the process. So first will be the research proposal part. The topic that the researcher chosen is the UX design for young people, and the problem stated is UX design for the mental health and well-being of young people in age 18 to 20 in digital age. It is because they are the key user group. Some are pursuing their studies or starting a career. They started to earn more money and they are comfortable with spending it online. Some are beginning family, purchasing home. So in this stage, they might face some stress. So this is the reasonable issue that can be investigated throughout the 14 weeks. For the rationale and the problem statement part, thinking about what point to include in the both part was not difficult for the researcher, and the researcher have her own viewpoint on this subject and know what she intends to research. So in the writing, the researcher made an early suggestion that usability concern in UX design for mental health can be taken into the consideration. So the purpose of the UX design for mental health is to reduce the worst symptom of the mental health. Internet seems to be a possible sources of the mental health resources, but they are not always effectively focused on assisting those with mental illness. The research objective that the researcher wants to do is to study how the mental health application create a better user experience for young people, and to evaluate the effectiveness of a mental health mobile application for young people. The question is, how does UX design affect the mental health and well-being of young people, and what usability issue in mental health application for young people? It is to look how affect young people's mental health and well-being as well as the usability. The researcher felt that this will be the most important objective and question to solve the problem with the mental health application for young people. This would address by the upcoming primary and the secondary studies. And the challenging that faced by the researcher is some mistake in the reference list of the research proposal, which is the incorrect format of the APA 7 edition in the first attempt. And the objective stated is not specific enough. Next will be the critical review part. These are the top 3 articles that the researcher selected in the critical review. From the first article, a study was conducted to create a safe plan, which is a mental health application, and it showed the importance of conducting a usability test on a mental health application to assist the development of a clinically informed and user-friendly mobile apps. The reason why the researcher chose the article is it can discover what type of usability was beneficial among a group of young people by using a focus group method to interview the participant after using the particular apps. It also emphasized on how important the first general UI design and how the app's developer place the user anonymity. The article discussed how to fill the gaps in between the monitoring criteria and the real-world practical by co-designing an apps with young people that enable for self-monitoring of mood and the communication of this monitoring with doctor. The article mentioned that up to 25% of young people have depressive disorder, and some of points made by the article definitely helped the researcher in writing and analysis. And they also mentioned that not many apps that combine the self-monitoring of mood and the suicidal thought with belief the inventation like those recommend for suicide prevention apps. And for the third article is about the preventive digital mental health interventions, which is DHI, for the children and the young people. The review showed that the digital health interventions aren't yet living up in their full potential, and the way that research is designed and report doesn't always help in the real world. It's mentioned that the understanding and incorporating the needed and the motivation of the both young people and doctor is a crucial for achieving the favorable outcome of young people using the technology-based solution. The challenging that faced by the researcher is in deciding on which is the most effective content from the reading article, and also in figuring out how to begin the review and how should it be completed, especially the given time limits. Next will be the primary data. The research methodologies of the qualitative methodologies that the researcher choose is online interview, and for the quantitative methodology is questionnaire. For the online interview, this interview will be taken out with 3 young people in age of 18 to 20 who are using the mental health application, and they did it online via WhatsApp and email with a Google Form link attached. The goal is to discover how users think about the enhancing the user experience of the mental health application. As a result, the interviewees think that the mental health app are really needed in their daily life. As a user, they will look on how the user-friendly of the application and what kind of features that are provided by the apps. And before they use, they will also go through the review given by the other user. There are also some negative effects that might concern is the result of the application given sometime might not be 100% correct, and also they might face privacy issue too. Next will be the questionnaire. A questionnaire is being to send out to people who are connected with the young people between the age of 18 to 20. And this questionnaire is to address how public perceive useful of a mental health application and what result may benefit young people in preventing the mental disease. The challenge that face of the researcher is the content of the question is confusing at the first time and made some typing mistake too. And it is hard to get enough responses due to the tight time. It's divided into the 4 sections, which is the demographic of the respondents, knowing about the mental health application, the user of the application, and the usage of the application. In conclusion of the primary data, mental health applications are a good recommendation for young people who are looking for reduce the stress and prevent the mental disease. And the most user of the mental health application desire more advanced features added into the application that they are using. It will be amazing to create a usable and user-friendly mental health application that include all of the useful features in the single apps. At last, this module has been both frustrating and interesting over the period of 14 weeks. There are certain areas of the research can be improved, such as better organizing in critical review, in identifying the more relevant article to use, and the possibility to getting a large set of responses of the questionnaire. And the both of the question and the both of the secondary and primary data obtained are valuable and appropriate for the research. Overall, this module provides an opportunity for the researcher to learn how to conduct a formal academic research project in beginning to conclusion. That's all from me. Thank you.